Test, test,
Test, test,
test. Okay.
test,
Test?
test.
What are we doing this? What's happening right now?
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more. My name's Adam.
My name's Oliver. Nailed it.
How was that?
Proud of you. That was
See?
good. That was the best one yet.
Man, I've been practicing.
Really?
No.
You were like in the car. Welcome to the Nerd Locker Podcast. You're like really nervously like white knuckling the.
No. So today we are talking about The Last of Us episode 7. So we're releasing this before episode 8 comes out. We'll release our review on episode 8 next week, and we'll finally be caught up.
Finally.
So let's talk about Left Behind, which was the name of the DLC.
The DLC.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they obviously went down that road. They went to the mall.
I feel like it was needed. I'm kind of glad they did.
Yeah.
And not just go into winter with Ellie. Because then we'd have no background about Ellie and we wouldn't feel anything for her. So I
you think this
appreciated
was
that they
necessary?
did the DLC. The DLC really should have been a part of the game, but
Yeah, because you got the DLC after you played the full game, right?
that's what DLC means, Adam.
Anyways, obviously, because I'm not in
The
video
gaming
game
realm.
world. Yeah, not at all. So yeah, I mean, so we were talking about it earlier. The color scheme of the episode too was very much HBO Euphoria.
Right.
Music video we've done before where like use those pinks, purples, blues,
Right.
really bringing that neon
That
color.
low tone, yeah,
like
kind
it
of
was
not
even
super
Army of the
intense.
Dead that we talked about a
Right.
couple weeks back.
They have the low
Like,
tone as well.
Yeah, they use a lot of that. The acting was great. Both of the young girls were.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
I mean, we already know that Bella Ramsey's great, but just to see her like be with someone else on her, like we kind of saw it with Sam, someone more close to her age, but just to show
Right.
like these child actors, while many of them are not good, there are some that are.
What do you mean many that aren't good?
Anyone on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel.
Oh, I was going to say Disney Channel.
Both of those networks right now. I'm sorry. Like,
So bad.
it might be the writing, but it's just there was
so bad.
they can't do comedy the way they used to. We
No,
had
it's
the
really
golden
cringe.
age of like
Yeah,
kid
now it's just
shows.
super cringe.
It really is. Nothing about it. Yeah,
But
other
I
than that-
I saw a quick interview about Bella Ramsey that like they were saying like, what was your first job? And Bella's like, Game of Thrones. And like she did get paid to do a choir thing technically, but after that it was like her first actual paying job was Game of Thrones,
yeah.
which I think is
Hold on one
crazy
sec.
to me. Going to commercial?
Hello.
Are you with Oliver?
No,
You lying piece of shit.
we are not on the air right now. I promise.
You ass. What was so
Say hi to the podcast.
Oh my god. Hello, people of the world.
Yes.
What was so important that you had to call and interrupt my live streams?
Oh,
That was it.
I saw you had a live stream, so I thought it'd be funny to call you while you were having a live stream, and then it made your live stream end, and it was even better.
I hate you. It ended my live stream 3 freaking times.
I only called you twice.
Oh, twice.
I know, but the third time was for music for some random reason. Some shit. I don't know.
You're welcome. I hope you painted your door well.
My door looks amazing. No thanks to your interruptions in my TikTok. No, that was Instagram live stream.
It's fine. We got Tim the Two-Man Taylor over here.
What's this podcast topic? Is it Batman? I'm ready.
No, we're talking about The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. There's a gay couple, and then it's about zombies, and people die.
Yeah, kind of.
Nailed it.
He knows it way more than I thought he would.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so thanks for being a guest star on the podcast. We're gonna finish up what we were talking about, but glad you returned my call.
You're probably gonna have to bleep out some of what I said.
No, not at all.
Oh God. Okay. Well, goodbye, people of Earth.
All right. Bye, bud.
Bye.
Why does he have to specify Earth? Is there like another planet he says goodbye to?
I don't know.
Weird. All right. I believe it, though.
Anyways,
What were we talking about?
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
So we were talking.
Child actors.
Yeah,
Disney
child
sucks.
actors and stuff.
Yeah.
So what did you feel overall about this episode?
It did go very much coincide with the actual DLC. I feel like the actor, Storm Reed, was a little bit older than the actual person in the DLC, which I actually preferred. I prefer them to be older. It seems like it's the only way to get Ellie to fucking do something. To like listen to this kind of like authority figure that she has like a crush on, etc. I like that. I like that they brought in the pun book because you can infinitely read that entire book in the DLC, which is nice.
Okay.
The everything was pretty accurate actually. It was almost like frame for frame. The photo booth, the carousel, the arcade, it was all pretty much up there. I can't recall if in the game if it was Mortal Kombat 2. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I know there was a game being played. I can't tell if it was Mortal Kombat 2 because sometimes Naughty Dog will throw in a game that they've made. But other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I would definitely say it. I think I didn't have a lot of issues with the episode in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I did, which wasn't really anything that I feel like would have changed the story or anything like that, but for me, I wish it was more like the DLC where you kind of like go back and forth between what's happening in the present instead of book ending it like they did, where it was like present, flashback, one quick shot in the middle of like present again, and then
I don't know. In the game, like you just played through Ellie, you played through Winter, and you finished the game.
Yeah.
And then later on, you play this bonus content of Ellie.
Yeah.
So in a way, it was kind of in the spectrum of like, like this is going to be a DLC episode.
Yeah.
It's almost like episode 3 with Frank and Bob was almost like a DLC episode, basically.
I guess, yeah. But I guess to better explain it, it's more of like when we have the first flash of the present, she's looking for something to help Joel. Then we get to the second part where he basically says like, leave me, da-da-da.
Right, yeah.
And then we get the last, which means that between the second time and the last time, she thought all of that in a quick thought. And that's what I guess took me out of it, was that there was obviously some time that passed between the present, flashback, present again, but there was like no time in between present to the last present like scene they showed. Like that all happened in her head.
I
and
think
like it was supposed to like it's the memory that she remembered to like go grab something else. But it's just like there was so much more. I just wish they would have given us more backstory or the mall stuff before the second time. Because it was like, let's say 3 minutes of this, 15 minutes of that, 3 minutes of this, 38 minutes of that, 3 minutes of this.
I think it's
like if they would have just swapped it around, I would have gotten the time passage of time. I think would have been a little clearer.
I don't know. I think it's more okay.
Cut of it.
I see what you mean, but I think it's also more of like this is like it's more of like an emotion she's thinking in those like in that little bit like an she's captured this emotion. Sorry.
Yes.
In this moment, and then it's the show saying this is what she's thinking about. So I don't think it's like she's thinking about this moment. I think it's more like, holy shit, I lost this person.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I should probably act because I don't want to feel this feeling again. It's equivalent to like if you break up with somebody, you hang on to that emotion that you broke up with somebody sometimes. So some people take a little bit longer because they're hanging on to this emotion, right? They're not gonna explain to you like why they feel this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just this single emotion, and then you need to tell the audience this is what she's feeling and this is why she feels that way, right? Which is, I think, very important for like storytelling as well. You can save time and you can make a whole nother scene, which, by the way, mall scene takes cake. Almost like it's very well done.
It was great. And just the little differences of just like the masks that they wear are a little bit different. And just there was just these slight little changes that were just enough to really like sell home this character of Ellie because, like we've talked about in previous episodes, she was being a bitch.
Yeah,
And
right.
people were starting
yeah.
to not like her. So this was like a really good time
You
to
kind of
introduce
feel
this
for her now.
episode. And what I want to know, because I mean, to give a rating real fast before we get into some last minute thoughts in there, what do you think out of 10?
Oh man, I did like the DLC. I did like the episode. I'm gonna have to say. I'm gonna have to say 10. What's
Oh,
that?
I thought you were gonna say 8.
You just mouthed at the camera.
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna say, there's nothing like that I didn't like about it.
Would you give episode 3 a 10? Because I gave episode 3 a 10. I don't think you did.
I don't think I did.
So you think this one was better than episode 3?
Yeah, I think it's because I like Ellie as a character better.
Maybe. Okay, that makes sense. I think I'm gonna say 8.5, and I only say that because it's like as cool as it is to see like the similarities between that and like Euphoria and stuff like in those ways. I felt like I was watching an episode of that at some points.
Oh, like too.
That doesn't
similar?
mean I was taken out of the story. It was just more of like I was waiting for Zendaya to pop up at some point. So like,
Zendaya would have sold that part, by the way.
right?
But I think Storm Reed also did a really great job.
Yes. That's because Zendaya can portray any age right now.
That is. How old is Zendaya?
She's like 24, 25, 26, something like
Jesus.
that. No, she's like our age.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was like way younger.
No.
Weird.
Right? Okay, so one other thing I wanted to say on in general of this, what was the third option?
What do you mean?
At the end when they both get bit, they talk about option 1,
They kill themselves, right?
option 2,
They just live their life.
and then she said or option 3, and she asked her what's option 3, and she just starts crying and saying I'm sorry, and then they cradle each other. But they never say what option 3 is.
I'm not entirely sure actually. What do you
Right?
think it is?
I don't know because I don't remember this part of the DLC, but we never really find out what happens to Riley, right?
No, you do. Yeah, that.
No, I know that, but like nothing after that.
After that, no. You know,
Like we don't really know
actually,
what
I don't.
happened to
Actually,
Riley.
I don't want to quote that because I'm not entirely sure if they wake up till morning and she turns. So I'm not. I don't remember. It's been so long.
because we didn't see it in this.
We didn't.
Unless they specifically left that out to show it again in next episode or episode 9 when she does something that like, or maybe when she tells Joel,
I
like
don't
maybe we'll see the end of that and then
think-
like we find out she just told the whole story to Joel.
I think it's safe to assume that she turned, but I don't like.
She
I
turned
guess
when
option
Ellie
3
didn't,
would be like, Ellie kills her.
because she would turn because Ellie won't. So she would have turned before Ellie even
Right.
thought of
So
things.
Ellie must have just.
But when Ellie says I've hurt somebody before, like did she kill Riley before? Like this is my theory is this. Like if they never show it and we're going to go on like what do people think?
Mhm.
What I would want the case to be is they're together in the mall. It's been like maybe a couple weeks or whatever.
Couple weeks.
Well, how long does it normally take for that to set in?
Isn't it like 72 hours or something?
I don't know, maybe. Okay,
I
let's
don't
say it's been a day or something.
Okay.
And I would think like when you're like wondering what's going to happen to you, like maybe Riley goes to grab a gun to kill the both of them and Ellie like needs to stop her from doing that. And like maybe at one point when like, you know, like how Sam and his brother like the quick up to,
Right.
like maybe she went like this up to Ellie and Ellie like reaction just like had to kill her.
Kill her.
Because she was about to kill them both.
I'm
and
gonna
not give them a
say-
shot.
I'm going to say no because there's only one gun.
Unless she goes for the gun and Ellie has to get it and
I
they
think-
fight with it. They
I
could fight back and forth and she
I think
accidentally...
that's what happened. Or maybe, yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit more believable.
Because I don't think she would be as distraught as a character. No, as distraught as a character if she had to kill her after she already turned. Because that gives Ellie more experience with Sam
Mhm.
than with Riley. So like,
that's a good point.
if she knew that Sam was going to turn, she would have never fallen asleep because she had been through this exact thing. She would have known how long it would have taken. But she didn't seem to know
Right.
like how long it would take for Sam to turn because she's like, this is going to help you. I'm going to stay watch. She falls asleep accidentally and he's turned. But if she knew this is going to be a couple hours, she would have done her best to stay up. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe she had to kill Riley before she turned.
You know what's crazy? What if they didn't kill each other and then somehow they go their separate ways and we run into
Maybe that's what part 3 is about
them again
in the game.
Well, I don't know, because it would have to be with Ellie killing this other, what's her name?
What?
Stormry, what's her character's name?
Riley?
Riley, yes, thank you. But like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like in the game, you don't remember if they showed it, and if they didn't show it, they can easily have her fast forward another like 5 years.
Right.
Fast forward another 5 years, and like maybe she runs into Riley thinking she was dead the whole time, because it wouldn't be the first time she thought she was dead, which is probably why they made that such a big deal. I thought you were dead because you weren't around.
Oh man, I don't know.
Unless they get separated by more infected.
I don't know if I want that to
assume the other one's dead and they're both immune.
I don't know if I want. Okay. If they had to make a part 3, is that what you would want, or would you want something different? I don't think I want that.
I don't think I would want it as a main storyline, but I think it could be something that, like, because maybe Riley moved on with her life as well.
Because after 5 years, the sports takes you over to the point where you are basically unrecognizable.
Well, I know,
and that's if you survive the 5 years.
Well, I'm talking about the fact that they're both immune.
Oh, I thought you meant she turns.
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about
okay.
both immune. She's alive.
Oh, see, that'd be kind of
life.
crazy.
Like, she thought she was dead. Like, maybe the infected separated them.
Yeah.
Maybe more came to the mall. Or the Fireflies come to the mall and take Riley.
Yeah.
You know, because of what they do with Ellie. They take Riley, and then, or they find out that Riley was immune. She was the first one they took to kill her, to get the vaccine, and that's why they wanted Ellie instead. Because no matter what, the Fireflies had to have known what happened, because they had Marlene had Ellie
right
hostage. So she knows what happened at that mall, which means the Fireflies, since that was one of the bases where they put Riley at, they had to have shown up. So maybe they're the ones that killed Riley, because they saw she was bit. And what did they do to their own when they're bit? They just immediately killed them, just like with Joel when he first meets Ellie, and that guy with the rifle was about to, because if they knew they're infected, so if Riley shows up infected, the Fireflies would shoot her down, no questions asked. And maybe that's what happened with Ellie.
No, I got something.
Okay.
I think Riley decides we have to go to Fireflies. We have to go to Marlene.
Uh-huh.
And so they meet Marlene, and they say, like, and this is like days later.
Okay.
Where Ellie is nothing, but Riley's still starting to show symptoms.
Uh-huh.
And then that's when Ellie realizes, I'm not infected, like I'm fine. And they explain it to Marlene, and they have to kill Riley. I'm not saying that Ellie kills Riley. I don't think Ellie's in the room at all. She's accepting it somewhere else, maybe, or something. No, that doesn't make sense, because they captured her. Fuck, man, this is hard. It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Well, because she didn't like the Fireflies both times that we first meet her in the game and in the show. Like, she's not fans of the Fireflies, so she wouldn't have helped them.
Yeah, I guess.
So, like, if they storm in and say, like, are you guys okay? Because Ellie, they purposely keep showing her rolling up her sleeve to hide it, correct?
Right, rolling down, I think you mean.
Yeah. Well, she's rolling it up to show it, but rolling it down, it'll hide it, correct?
Yeah.
So let's just say they're both asleep, right? Like, they cradle each other, they both fell asleep. They're not like there yet.
Okay.
Maybe an hour later goes by because maybe some kind of tripwire went off, alarm, blah, blah, blah. Fireflies come into that base, into the mall, and they look at them and they shine their lights. What would happen as a person that you would do? You would do...
Well, Riley's clearly gonna, like, say, hey, I'm a Firefly.
No, I know that, but she got bit on the hand.
Oh.
So when she's doing this, they're gonna see that she got bit. You know what I mean? Like, if she goes up and there's blood and they see the bite mark, they might not take the chance to just...
No, I don't think that'll happen, because it'll just kill them both. They'll check Ellie if that's the case.
Unless Ellie gets away as soon as the first gunshot goes off.
Oh, maybe.
And then Marlene's the one that grabs her by the arm and says, wait. And she's like, no, I'm not infected. Look. And that's when Marlene's like, all right, come with me, and locks her up. I can imagine it, like, lights go on.
No,
but But just imagine the shot. Lights go on, right, from the guns.
Okay.
Both Riley and Ellie are looking. From Ellie's point of view, she's looking through like through her eyes, like
Yeah.
blurry. She just sees the lights. She sees Riley's head go up and say, "No, wait, I'm just," and then poof, right through that glass, which would cause her to freak out and run immediately. They would start shooting at her. She's ducking, goes into where the infected came out of, that room, because
Yeah.
that's where they would probably also go to check what happened there. Run into Marlene. Marlene would grab her, be about to kill her. Ellie starts begging for her life, and then immediately pulls down and says, I was bit too. I like that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm not infected. Look at me. See? Because
Yeah.
also, or she could wake up, they're there with the guns, and they shoot Riley because she has already, just like Sam, become infected. Like, maybe she was just about to attack Ellie when they came in and, like, saved her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because we don't know what
We
happened.
don't know what happened.
Like,
I mean,
you sure
she might
it was
just
never in the
explain
game?
it to Joel, honestly. She might just explain it to Joel, like, to the best. Like, I mean, because Joel knows none of this. Right now, Ellie knows more background about Joel than Joel knows about Ellie.
Yeah.
So she might just explain it once,
That's
after
what I
winter
think.
season.
I think they might, at one point, either during this next episode or episode 9, she's probably going to do something, and they're going to show the end of that flashback to justify whatever her actions were in the present. So
Possibly.
whether it be, I mean, spoilers, we always do it on this show. Does she kill the David character?
She does.
So maybe that's the point.
Brutally.
I mean, that might be the point.
In a burning building.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what if that happens? Joel sees that. Does he see it in the game? Her
Joel
doing that?
doesn't. No, Joel's knocked the fuck
Okay.
out. She's alone.
So maybe they change that up and he does see it, or they change it up and she tells him. But the reason that she acted that way is because of what happened to her at the mall, and maybe we get the end of that flashback in the next episode. You know what I mean?
Right. So next episode, by the way, is going to be the character David that we've been discussing about.
That was played by Nolan North in the game.
Shout out to Noel North. I love you, dude. And if they don't do this character justice, I'm going to be really mad.
I don't see why not. So, like, obviously we've talked about spoilers. We've gone over what could happen and stuff.
Yeah.
You know better than I do. I don't remember this part at all in any of the video game, like either gameplays or anything like that, because I guess it was such a quick thing, right?
So basically, those guys that got jumped. That
By the
stabbed-
way, guys,
Oh.
just so you know, I finally got Oliver caught up on the after the episode, so
Oh,
now
yeah.
he knows about all the interviews and everything else.
No,
so-
that no. I'm
Yeah.
caught up. I'm caught up. I'm being a good co-host. If I remember correctly in the game, those guys that jumped him at the hospital are
Mhm.
basically guys of David.
Yeah.
And David then eventually, while hunting or something, captures Ellie. And they're, fucking weirdos. Like, I don't want to say cannibalistic because I think that's wrong. I think I'm thinking of Walking Dead.
Okay.
But they're weirdos, okay?
They don't eat people though.
I don't think they do. I
Okay.
don't think they do. Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know. And then, basically, she escapes, blah, 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 burning building, and that's your boss battle to fight David as Ellie alone.
Okay.
To get, I think, some sort of medical supplies for Joel or something. I forget.
That makes sense. Okay.
So we'll see. I'm actually really excited to bring in David in. David's a fucking...
So do you think, based on last week, real fast, on your predictions for the end of this season, do you think that that's still going to happen? Do you think, like, we're ending this?
We're ending this at 9.
I know. Do you think we're ending this with Hospital and that whole story arc gets done
Yup.
by the end of the season?
That's, at this rate, yeah, that's
You
happening.
think that all of 9
I'm
is going
calling
to
it
be
right now. That's happening.
all of 9 is just Hospital?
Yep.
Okay.
All hospital, and then Joel lies to her, and then we'll get a massive jump.
Oh, man. You think... oh.
You're getting chills right now.
I'm just wondering how they're going to do the in-between time. If they're going to use
They're not.
flashbacks.
I don't think they're going to.
They might in season 2.
I don't think
use
so.
flashbacks. You really think they're going to take Pedro Pascal off top billing of this show?
Mm-hmm. Because
You
that
really
hurts.
think they're going to leave this
You know
all
why?
on Bella?
You know why? Because Joel in the game fucking hurt losing. Losing Pedro will fucking hurt, and that'll sell the show.
You think it's selling?
It's gonna be like Games of Thrones. It's like season 1 of Games of Thrones.
Game of
fucking-
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Games of Thrones.
Losing Ned Stark fucking hurt, but it didn't hurt the show.
Okay. All right.
I think.
Do you think they're going to change actresses? Or do you think they're going to give it to Bella?
No, they can't. I think they'll. I mean, I kind of hope they use Ashley Johnson, who's the voice actor of Ellie in
Yeah.
number 2, who's also in Vox Machina, which I haven't talked about yet. But that's
We will
okay.
eventually, yeah. And then really,
We got to wrap it up.
I know
now.
we're gonna wrap it up with 3 sentences. What did you think of the new Peter Pan and Wendy trailer?
I thought it was repetitive, unnecessary, super fun.
Okay. I think it is probably going to be a very visually interesting movie.
Yeah.
I think it will be weird to see certain actors in certain roles. And I hope that they diverge enough, but also bring all the elements, because it definitely seems like it's supposed to be like a live action version of the animated movie.
Right.
But they also have like more emphasis on Tiger Lily, which is kind of like Hook territory, book territory. So like they're probably doing like all of this.
Interesting.
Comes out April 28th. We'll see how that is.
Super
I'm a
soon.
big
Wow.
Peter Pan fan, guys, but like
Can they even see that?
I don't know.
You just
Kind
look
of.
like an idiot.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, all right. We will talk to you guys about that at the end of the month when we watch that. But other than that, where can they find you, Oliver?
You can find me on The Sphere 21, anywhere on any major social media platform, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter.
All right.
What about you?
You could find me at Amori Photography on all social media platforms. Archangel Films for the production company, and this podcast, Nerd Locker Podcast, everywhere you find podcast, Apple, Spotify,
You know,
Google, all that. Yeah.
Don't forget Anchor.
Oh yeah, and Anchor. All right. See you guys.
Bye.